Hi, good morning, dear students. Welcome to English online class. This video has been created as part of ICET Public School online classes. Dear students, we are continuing our classes, video classes. After the examination, we are going to start again. As usual, the classes will continue by today onwards. Anyway, we are on astray, on confusion about the video classes, especially myself, that while you are watching the video classes, all the teachers are sending the topics, recording the entire content very nicely in a way that you can understand and you can study the topic well. Unfortunately, when students are being tested, maybe by asking questions or maybe by examinations and all, what generally we found that even the simple thing they are unable to answer. They are unable to give the proper solutions for the questions. So here, why does it happen? In the sense that you are watching the video, I'm sure maybe very few of the students, they may skip this time and walk completely watching the video. Some others are continuously watching the video. But the thing is that I hope that learning process is not happening. Means while watching the video, you are not putting the topic in your thought. You are not thinking it properly, personally, and you are not doing any exercise on it. Exercise in the sense that not the physical exercises that you are completing the homework, and no, not like that. But you are not processing on the topic. You are not thinking over the topic. So that is what the process meaning. You should take it as a personal affair and consider it as a serious matter to be learned for examination and for your future and to improve your personality and all. It belongs to entire development of your your personality. So here, let me continue our previous topic that we have stopped. We have been discussing the story by Narayan, who wrote a story, A Horse and Two Gods. And we said that we already introduced the characters, Muni and his wife and a shopkeeper and all. We said that, and in the last class, in part 3, we concluded that Muni was explaining that means the statue, the importance of the statue, that clay model statue. It was over at the bottom of on the pedestal. Muni used to wait and sit and spend the entire day. So how was the structure of the statue and all? We explained that. And at the end of that paragraph, we said that there were some vandals in that, some rowdies in that. Children, they are destroying the entire thing. Even the milestone, they will topple it out and they will draw pictures and drawings over the public walls and make it dirty. Such kind of vandals. Even they did not touch this statue at all. Means they did not make it dirty at all. This statue is still there as it was built at that time. So nobody has noticed it, even though it was in the midst of the crowd. But no such kind of notice students make any kind of damage to that statue. There we stopped. Now we are continuing. Look, take the book in your hand and look into page number 56. There we are continuing from the middle. Start like this. Muni sat at the foot of the statue watching his two gods graze in the arid soil among the cactus and lantana bushes. He looked at the sun. It had tilted westward, no doubt, but it was not the time yet to go back home. If he went too early, his wife would have no food for him. So in this paragraph, Muni says that Muni used to be said that on the pedestal, Muni will sit on the pedestal of that statue and look, and the gods, it will be grazing in the field. So that two gods are grazing now also in the arid soil, means dry because of the summer, and it has become dry. So on that dry land the gods are grazing. So there are some cactus, the bush cactus is there, and lantana bushes also. Lantana means also very familiar for us near to our school or there, that lantana. I will show you sometime the picture in the video. That is, so such kind of among the cactus and lantana that goats are being grazed. And at that time he looked at the sun. So the sun has tilted westward. That means it has moving. The time has gone little, but no doubt, indeed, it is not the time to go back to home. If he go early home, his wife will not get time to cook food for him. So wife already warned him not to come back to home before dawn, before the evening. Do not come back. So that is the strict warning from wife. So that it is not the time, because he did not take any food. You remember that he did not take any food on that day, and he is grazing the goats. And this is not the time to go back. If he went too early, his wife would have enough food for him. Also, he must give her time to cool off her temper. Morning he was uncontrollable, so that he is away from his wife. So let her be cooled off. So let her take time to cool off her temper also. That is another reason he is not going this time, and feel sympathetic. And then she would scrounge and manage to get some food. So if enough time is being given to wife, then only she will manage some food. Scrounge meaning that beg in the sense that not as a professional beggar, but just arrange the food from here and there, and she will get the time to scrounge for food, and her temper also will let cool off. For that he is waiting. Now look at the next paragraph. Now we are coming to the core content of the story now onwards. He noticed now a new sort of vehicle coming down at full speed. It looked like both a motor car and bus. He used to be intrigued by the novelty of such spectacles, but of late work was going on at the source of the river of the mountain, and an assortment of people and traffic went past him, and he took it all casually and described to his wife later in the day everything he saw. Now he says, now he noticed. So we know the situation where he is sitting and all. He noticed that a new type of vehicle was coming down at full speed. That looked like it is not a motor and not a bus. Such type of a vehicle it was. And he used to be intrigued and fascinated. Intrigued means he is always want to know. He always is very quest to know. He always very fascinated about such kind of means any type of novel things, and by the novelty of such spectacles. So any kind of novel thing is always fascinated. But of late work was going on at the source of the river, and at the source of the river means at the mountain from where the river is coming down. So there some work is going on, maybe the preparation of building of a dam or something. Some work is going on. That's why on the road such kind of machineries and vehicles will that means generally it will go. Any such means unusual vehicles will go. So this is maybe the reason that is this vehicle was coming in at full speed, because we said that at the source of the mountain, the source of the river on the mountain top, some work is going on, and that is why, and an assortment of people and traffic went past him. So that is a assortment of people, a miscellaneous, a number, different types of workers and vehicles and such kind of traffic it is on the road. So is the statue, that on the highway side only. So there he was sitting, so he can watch the entire different types of vehicles are moving on the road, especially in the time when a work is going on the mountain. An assortment of vehicles are going traffic, and he took it all casually and described it. So every time he will watch it and he will describe that vehicle, describe that what he has seen, that he will describe to his wife while he is going back to home. So when he saw this vehicle later in the everything is today, while he observed the yellow vehicle coming down. So that day when he noticed this yellow color motor and bus, like a different type of vehicle when it was coming, he was wondering that how to describe it later to his wife when it's proud is sputtered and stopped in front of him, and that vehicle was coming at full speed and it stopped in front of him. It was coming, it is sputtered, and sputtered means the sound of the that sound is called sputtered. So you may know sometimes sputtered meaning the sound when we pronounce it not sputtered, that sound is called sputtered, and that vehicle sputtered and stopped in front of him. So sometimes you may know that onomatopoeia you might have heard onomatopoeia. Have you heard it? Onomatopoeia. That onomatopoeia is a term that describes a word that meaning sound the same as the meaning. Example, I will tell that. For example, buzz. What is the meaning of buzz? Buzz meaning the sound buzz. When we pronounce it, a sound is coming, that sound is called buzz. Buzzing sound, we will say that. Buzz. That sound is called buzz. So that pronunciation of the word and that word is similar meaning. And the same before that we said that in the previous that is some of his friends hailed him. We learned that in the previous in the third in the second or third, that is when he was putting his head down from the temple, some of his friends they hailed me, hey, when you call it is called hail. So the word meaning and the sound, it is all similar, such type of. And when we say that coo, the sound of coo, and the cuckoo, that what's the meaning of cuckoo? That sound only. Such type of words is called. And another word is that it is called a spit. That is spit, and the sound when we do that action, almost similar. It is called onomatopoeia. Don't forget onomatopoeia. Do you remember that in the previous class I just explained ambiguity? Did you notice? If you don't remember it now, watch it again. That almost at the beginning, I think, of that video. Ambiguity. What does it mean by ambiguity? Now you learn another. So that sputtered and stopped in front of him, that motor vehicle that stopped in front of him. It is an yellow color, it was coming at full speed. It is not a motor, not a bus, such type of vehicle it was. And so he was thinking of that, how I will describe this vehicle to my wife. That was his worry. Then after stopping that vehicle, what happened? A red-faced foreigner who had been driving it got down and went round it, stooping, looking and poking under the vehicle. So that vehicle came and the driver came out. The driver is a red-faced foreigner. Is not an Indian, is a red-faced foreigner. Then that person who had been driving it, and he came out of the vehicle and he just walked around the vehicle and he was stooping, looking and poking, and he was looking at the vehicle. So I think by this we can understand that some damage is there. So he was looking and stooping around the vehicle and all. He just poked, he just examined the vehicle. Then he straightened himself. After that, he stooping and he straightened himself. He stood himself and he straightened himself up. Looked at the dashboard. Then in the car, in the car, we know that the dashboard. He looked at the dashboard of the car. Then stared in Muni's direction. After that, then he noticed Muni was sitting there. He stared at Muni's direction. He just looked at Muni, not at Muni, at Muni's direction, and approached him. Then that foreigner is coming, approaching to Muni. So now you see, we know about how Muni is and what is his education and all, we know that. So this foreigner is coming towards Muni, and the foreigner, excuse me, is there a gas station nearby, or do I have to wait until the next car comes, until another comes? That foreigner just asked in English. So Muni just what the expression of Muni, here it is. He sudden, then he was, foreigner was asking this very casually, asking to Muni, that is, excuse me, is there a gas station nearby, or do I have to wait until another car comes? Marvelous. He was asking these questions to Muni. He suddenly looked up at that clay hose and cried. So while he was asking this question, foreigner was asking, excuse me, may I know that is there any gas station nearby, or do I have to wait till the next car comes? Marvelous. That before he complete his question, that means the sentence being completed, he just noticed the statue, the beauty of the statue, or the proudness of the statue. He just uttered the word marvelous without completing his sentence. Muni felt he should get up and run away. And what for Muni? Muni was sitting at the bottom of the statue on the pedestal. And this man, this foreigner is coming towards him and asking something and said marvelous. And what Muni felt that he want to run away. He felt that he should get up and run away and cursed his age. But at the age, we know that at the age of 70, he's on 70, we discussed, So at this age of 70, how to run? That's so he cursed he complained his age. He could not readily put his limb into action. Even he could not just put his limb into action. That also quite difficult. So that was why he was cursing himself. Now next paragraph. The red-faced man wore khaki clothes, evidently a policeman or a soldier. Muni said to himself, he will chase or shoot if I start running. Some dogs chase only those who run. Oh Shiva, protect me. So Muni just started to sweat because of this foreigner. What he's asking, he didn't understand anything. So the red-faced man his dressing style was, he was wearing a khaki color clothes, and evidently from that appearance he can understand that he is a policeman or a soldier. From his dressing, it looks like that he is a soldier or a policeman. Then Muni said to himself, in his language, he said to himself that he will chase or shoot if I start running. If I run now, definitely this policeman, he will shoot or he will catch me, he will chase me. And he remembered that some dogs chase only those who run. Dogs are like that. We know that hunting. That the hunting time, that stray dogs, they will chase only those who are running. Those who are standing, they will not chase. So on the street dogs and all, it is like that. While we are walking without touching the, not bothering about, we can walk. By looking at their eyes and we start to run, they will chase us. It is like that. Some dogs are like that. If we run, they will chase. If we are walking very cool manner, quietly, no problem, we can go. So some dogs are like that. So it is also like that. He remembered that if I run, definitely this guy will chase me or shoot me. Shiva, protect me. I don't know why this man should be after me. I don't know why this man came and stopped here and asking to me why he is after me. I don't understand. Meanwhile, the foreigner cried again. So this is just a fraction of second, okay, that man came out of his vehicle and reached to Muni and asked about, excuse me, is there a gas station nearby, or do I have to wait till other car comes? Marvelous. Again he repeated. That is what here it is given there. Meanwhile Muni thought all these things. Marvelous. Again nodding his head. That foreigner nodding. Marvelous. Nodding his head. He paced around the statue with his eyes fixed on it, and using his eyes he was just everything, he was examining that statue. Yeah. And the tail and the head and the way the legs are holding and all, he just like he was pacing, means that he was very carefully looking and fixing his eyes over the statue, each and every part of that statue. Muni sat frozen. At that time Muni did not understand anything. He just like freezed, sat frozen for a while, and then fidgeted and tried to edge. That is, he just became nervous. Fidgeted means that he became nervous and tried to edge away. Then he tried to just to remove his nervousness and his freezeness, and he tried to edge away to remove it. Now the other man suddenly pressed his palms together and smiled. Now actually you can imagine that a vehicle coming and that stopping in front of him, that very casually that foreigner, that red-faced wearing that khaki clothes, and he was coming towards and asking that, is there any gas station nearby, or do I have to wait till other car comes? Oh, marvelous. He was very casually, he was telling all, but Muni just frightened. He became frozen. He became nervous, and because Muni is living in such a background, we know that in such a village he is living. He did not know, so far did not meet any foreigner or anything. Then the foreigner now reached that is, he just put his two arms together. Then the foreigner said that, Namaste. The foreigner said, Namaste, how do you do? Just the foreigner asked, Namaste, how do you do? He asked, that foreigner asked to Muni. At which Muni spoke the only English expressions he had learned. What are the English words so far he had learned? That Muni said, yes, no. He said both, yes, no. Having exhausted his English vocabulary, he started in Tamil. Then he became tired of only two words only he knows in English, that is yes, no. That he said. Then he said in his own language, in Tamil, he said that, my name is Muni. These two gods are mine, and no one can gainsay it. Though our village is full of slanders these days, who will not hesitate to say that belongs to a man doesn't belong to him? Then Muni said that Muni was afraid of different things. Muni was grazing that gods, Then Muni immediately said that, my name is Muni. He is telling in Tamil, okay? He is telling in Tamil, my name is Muni. He was telling in Tamil, yes, എൻ്റെ പേര് മുനി. ഈ രണ്ട് ആടുകളുണ്ടല്ലോ, അതെൻ്റെതാണ്. പിന്നെ ഒരാൾക്കും അതിൽ ഒരു അവകാശമില്ല, ഒരാൾക്കും അത് ക്ലെയിം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. നോ വൺ ക്യാൻ ക്ലെയിം ഇറ്റ്. ദോ ഇന്നത്തെ കാലത്ത് എല്ലാ ആൾക്കാരും ഈ പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ഈ മോഷ്ടിക്കുന്ന ആൾക്കാരായതുകൊണ്ട് ഏതൊരാളും അവരുടേതല്ലാത്ത സാധനം പോലും അവരുടേതാണ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കാലമാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഇതെൻ്റെ ഗോഡ്സാണ്. ദീസ് ആർ മൈ ഗോഡ്സ്. ഈസ് ടെല്ലിങ് ഇൻ തമിഴ്, മൈ ഗോഡ്സ്. ദോ അവർ വില്ലേജ് ഈസ് ഫുൾ ഓഫ് സ്ലാൻഡേഴ്സ്, though our village is full of such liars, liars, these days who will not hesitate to say that nobody will hesitate. ഒരു മടിയില്ലാതെ എല്ലാവരും എന്ത് പറയും, അതിൻ്റെതാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഞാൻ അങ്ങനല്ല പറയുന്നത്. റിയലി ദിസ് ടു ഗോഡ്സ് ആർ മൈൻ. എൻ്റെ പേര് മുനി എന്നാണ്. ഈ രണ്ട് ആടുകൾ എൻ്റെതാണ്. അതിന് ഒരാൾക്കും അവകാശമില്ല. നോ വൺ ക്യാൻ ഗെയിൻസേ. ഗെയിൻസേ മീൻസ് നോ വൺ ക്യാൻ, അതിലൊരു തർക്കമല്ല. നോ വൺ ക്യാൻ ഡിസ്പ്യൂട്ട്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് Though why I said in Malayalam, because he was telling in Tamil. So this is the dialogue Muni, what he want to convey, because in that village, people are, there are many thieves. They will take the gods and this kind of anything, and they will tell, yeah, this is mine only, I bought this, like that. They will tell lie. But so in order to prevent that, well in advance, Muni is explaining his case. My name is Muni, these two gods is mine, nobody can gainsay it. No one has any dispute over that. Though in our village there are many slanters, and who will tell that something is not belong to them is their own, but it is not. So he said that what belongs to a man doesn't belong to him. The foreigner faithfully looked in the direction indicated. So when he was telling that, these are my two gods. So to where that Muni pointed, towards that direction, the foreigner was. The foreigner did not understand anything. He did not. The foreigner was looking at this only, towards the direction where Muni was pointing towards his gods. The foreigner was looking at that direction, gazed for a while at the two gods, and he rocks, and with a puzzled expression took out of his silver cigarette and he lit a cigarette. Suddenly remembering the curse of the season, he asked. Then the foreigner, what he did not understand anything, just like that he looked towards the direction where Muni was pointing towards that gods, and with his confusion and what to do in his such kind of in a puzzling situation. He opened his cigarette packet and took one cigarette, and he lit up, and so he just thanked the climate, because the climate was good climate. So and foreigner asked to Muni that, do you smoke? To Muni, what Muni will say? Muni said yes, no. He said both, the same answer, yes, no. Whereupon the red-faced man took a cigarette and gave it to Muni. Then foreigner took one cigarette and gave it to Muni, that who received it with surprise. For in the life of Muni, it is the first time that an unknown person is giving something to Muni without asking. And he gave one cigarette Muni. He's surprised, having had no offer of a smoke from anyone for years now. For years he did not get a smoke from anyone. So this guy is giving one cigarette to him. He had always wanted to smoke a cigarette. Only once did the shopman give him one on credit. Once upon a time, earlier, that shopman, we know that shopman had given him one, that is on credit, one time. At that day he had smoked, and he remembered how good it had tasted. So at that, now he remembered the taste of that smoke at that time. Now he remembered the other flick. Now the foreigner just flicked the lighter open and offered a light to Muni. Just that gas lighter, he opened it just and offered to Muni. Just opening it, flame is there, and offered to Muni. So what Muni? Now you see what Muni did. And offered to Muni. Muni felt so confused. Muni doesn't know what to do. So confused about how to act that. So when the foreigner just gave a cigarette and opened his lighter and gave to just for lighting it, he just offered Muni. He became so confused. Muni, he didn't know what to do. What he did, he blew on it and put it out. When he show like this, he blew it. He didn't know that this is for his to lit his cigarette. No, he just, when he was doing like that, okay, I will do it. He just put it out, that flame, and then flourished his lighter. Presented it again. Again that foreigner just flourished it, and that means flicked it and gave to Muni, and presented it again and lit Muni's cigarette. Now this time the foreigner just put it on and put it on the cigarette. He lit Muni's cigarette. Muni drew a deep puff and started coughing. Now Muni just a deep puff he took, and then he started to cough also, because that much smoke he took inside. It was racking. That was distress for him, no doubt, but extremely pleasant. But anyway, it was only the first puff. It was like that, and it was extremely pleasant. So dear students, I would like to conclude my class today, and please send the summary of today's part, what you did understand very nicely, in a very modest manner, well arranged way. Please, very in a simple language, you can speak it into my WhatsApp number. I am expecting everyone's reply. Please reply to this question, that send the summary of today's class. Okay, wish you all the best. Thank you. Have a nice day. Okay, bye bye. Understand.